Good morning and welcome to another edition of Workout with Nikki. Today we're actually going to go back to some mat Pilates, but I'd like to incorporate some small equipment. And a lot of this stuff I just kind of found around the house, and so you don't necessarily need all of it, but it's kind of fun to work with small equipment. I know a lot of times in our Pilates we'll use big equipment like reformers and Cadillacs and stability chairs. But when you're at home, you may not have all that stuff. So we're gonna try to use some smaller equipment to simulate some of the stuff that we would typically do on our Pilates equipment. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna begin with our deep breathing. So remember in Pilates, you breathe in through the nose and then you breathe back out through the mouth. So sitting up nice and tall, relax the shoulders, let your arms rest at your knees, and begin your breath. In through the nose, and then back out through the mouth. And again. And so remember, when you're incorporating that breath, when you inhale, you want to really try to expand the ribs out wide. And when you exhale, you want to feel everything kind of drawing back in. So one more deep breath in. And back out. So go ahead and turn yourself long ways onto your mat. We'll start with a simple roll down to warm up through the spine. There's Biscuit. Arms reaching out to the front. You take a breath to prepare, and as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Roll down the spine, one vertebra at a time. Reach your arms overhead, and then exhale, start to peel the body back up, engaging through the core, rounding the spine. Realign to reset in neutral and go again. Exhale to roll down. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Exhale, come all the way back. Draw in. Reset. One more time. Exhale, roll. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, come back up. And then relax. Now this time we're going to roll all the way down and stay down. So come all the way down. Rest here, knees bent, walk the feet in. Now we'll move into neutral and imprint, just again to warm the spine up and incorporate the breath more. So breathing in to prepare as you exhale, imprint the spine. So you want to flatten your low back down, but you're doing it by engaging the obliques, bringing the hip bones closer to the lower ribs. Now relax into neutral. Do that again. Exhale to imprint. Inhale to fall into neutral. One more time. Exhale to imprint. Inhale and to relax. Good. So you're going to continue with that Pilates breath throughout today's session. So I want you to go ahead and come up to a seated position. Now we're going to start with what we call our footwork. So I'm going to use a stability ball. So if you have a stability ball, go ahead and grab that ball. We're going to set our ball up, lowering ourselves back down. You're going to place your heels on the ball. So your feet are going to be hip distance apart. And so this would simulate our feet on the foot bar in our reformer work. So you're in neutral alignment. Heels are digging in, feet are flexed. You take a breath in, push all the way out, and then as you exhale, you dig the heels into the ball, tracking the feet, knee, and hip alignment, coming back into tabletop. So try that again. Inhale to push out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale to push out. Exhale to pull in. Do that 2 more times. Breathing in, pulling out. Now, if you don't have a ball at home, another way you can do this is placing a towel on the floor and just sliding the towel out, heels out, and sliding it back in. That will help kind of simulate that same sequence. Now, from here, we're going to add a little intensity to the backside. So your feet are still in flexion. Your heels are digging into the ball. You're going to lift your hips to hover just enough so you can slide maybe a hand width onto underneath the spine. So you're going to inhale, push the ball back out again. Exhale, pull it in. Maintaining that neutral alignment the whole time. Exhale, pull in. Inhale out. Exhale, pull in. You got 2 more. Pull out. Last one. Bring it in. Now drop the hips back down to neutral and pause. Now you're going to walk your heels together. Turn your toes out and make a V with your feet. So your knees are separated. You're still in tabletop, but you're in a wide stance with your knees. So again, you're going to inhale, push the legs out. Your hips are down with this set. You're still in that V position. Keep your heels glued together. Draw it back in. We're in lateral rotation at the hips. So you inhale to push out, zip up the inner thighs. Exhale, breathe it back in. Inhale out. Exhale, pull it back in. Give me 2 more. Extend through the legs, zip the inner thighs up, pull back in. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, pull in. Now hold right here. Once again, lift the hips to hover, lock it into neutral. Inhale, push out. Exhale to pull in. And continue with that breathing pattern. Zip up the inner thighs, pull it back in, lateral rotation. Good. Keep your heels connected. Keep those toes turned out into a V. You've got 3 more. Draw it in. Good. Inhale out. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Now drop the hips back down. Bring the feet back into parallel. Now, you're going to walk the ball underneath your calves. Feet are close together, knees are close together. So the ball is acting as like a little support system. Stretch your arms out wide and we go into rotation. So the ball is going to provide us a little support as we move into rotation. But keep your knees connected. So inhale, roll the ball towards me. And then exhale, bring it back to neutral. Inhale, roll the ball away. And then exhale, back to neutral. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the shoulders grounded down. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more each set. Roll. Come back to neutral. And again, roll. Exhale to neutral. And then bring it up. And then roll up off the ball. So you can take your stability ball out of the way, and then I'm going to have you grab a weight. Now, if you don't have weights at home, no big deal. I've got a can of soup. Now, this is a bigger can of soup, so it's about 2 pounds, okay? A smaller can is going to be about 1 pound, but your 2-pound can is going to give you a little more resistance as we move into the next set. So you have your weight. If you've got weights, grab your weight, or sometimes you can have like a weighted ball. You can use those as well. But we're going to come back down with our weight this time. Place the weight in your right hand. Knees are bent to neutral. Now, you're going to bring your knees to tabletop, lock the core in place. Stretch the right arm over your head, not over your head, but over your shoulder line towards the sky. You're going to come up into a flexion, into a crunch. When you do that, you're bringing the right arm with the weight down by your side as the right leg extends. Then you bring it back to your neutral set and go again. Exhale, reach and return. Exhale. And again. And reach. You have 2 more on this side. So this is simulating our resistance with our hands in the straps when we're on the reformer. Last one. Bring it in and hold. Now this time, same arm, same side with your weight. You're going to extend the left leg out. The arm will reach across the midline, so your weight goes across your midline, and then you bring it back to neutral. Go again. Exhale. And return. Do it again. And return. 4 more. Last 2. And bring it down, reset. Now you'll bring the feet back down, switch hands with your weight. Right arm is down by your side, left hand stretched straight to the sky. Knees come to tabletop, begin with the same side. So your left leg will extend with your left arm. Breathe in to prepare, exhale, extend. Left arm, left side, reset. Flexion, come up and crunch. Inhale to release. Three more. Last one. Pause. This time you'll come across the midline. Left hand reaches to the right leg as it extends. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale. Three more. Last one. And reset. Bring it all the way back down. Now we switch the weight once again back to the right hand. Knees come to tabletop again. You're going to stretch both legs high this time. You'll stretch the right arm straight up. Now, the right arm's going to go overhead this time, so it comes up by your ear, okay? You're going to come up and flex and drop your left leg down. So it comes across and up, and across and up. Good, so you're stretching across, reaching overhead. Your right leg is strong and straight in space. Last two. And stop. Bend the knees to tabletop. Switch your weight to the left hand. Stretch it up. Bring it overhead. Both legs up. Now once again, you crunch up it, dropping your right leg as the left arm comes across the midline. Here we go. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale. So as that arm reaches overhead, you're creating more range of motion through that shoulder. That left leg stretches out long, creating more length in the back of the legs. Three more. Last one. And stop. Now bring it down. This time you can drop your weight. Both legs are going to come straight back up again. You're flexing the trunk. Now hold the flexion. Grab your right leg. Drop your left leg down into single straight leg stretch. We switch legs each breath. And switch. And switch. Good. Last four. And 3, 2, and 1. Both legs up, bend the knees, rest the head back, and relax down. Perfect. Now from here, we're going to go into one more set with the straight legs, but we're going to drop both legs down and then both legs back up, holding the flexion the whole time. So stretch the legs back up, lengthen through the hamstrings, interlace your hands behind, take a flexion and come up and hold. So draw the navel in, hold your flexion. You're going to breathe in, drop the legs down, stretch them out, breathe out, bring them back up. This time I want you to try to flex your feet on the lowering, point the toes on the lift. Do it again. Inhale, point, exhale. 3 more. And come up. Again. Come up. Last one. Now listen up. We're going right into straight-legged crisscross. Drop your left leg. Turn your left elbow to the right thigh. Now switch. And switch. And switch. Last 8. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in neutral. Relax. Hold right there. Go ahead and roll yourselves back up. All right. So next set, we're going to move into some side lateral work. So I'm going to have you grab like a small ball, okay? And this is just a small little playground ball. That's my kids. If you don't have a small ball, no big deal. You can actually use like a little bolster or some sort of, maybe a little cushion from your couch. But you're going to take that into a sideline position. So you're going to come up and place the bolster or the ball between your lower ribs and that pelvis, okay? So you'll lie over the top of that. So you're giving yourself a little more range into that sideline position. So you can just rest your head down and you can see how that gives you a little more lift, all right? You're gonna stretch your top leg long and then you're gonna stretch the top arm overhead. We begin with an inhale. As we exhale, we're gonna lift up off that ball and then lower back down. And again, Last 3, and lift. And lift. Last 2. And 1. Hold it here. Now bend your knee. You're going to bend the top elbow. And then from here, we're going to just try to lift up off the ball and lower. Up and lower. 3, and 2, and 1. Now bring it all the way up, and then we switch sides. All right? And so it helps if the ball is kind of squishy or the cushion is kind of squishy to give you just a little extra support. If it's too hard, like a block or something, it's not going to be very comfortable. So let's try the other side. Remember, lower ribs, that upper part of your hip line, and you're going to lie down over the top of the ball. So it's going to give you that lift on that side body. Stretch your top leg long. Bring that arm overhead. Begin with an inhale. Exhale, rise up. Last one. And stop. Now you're going to bend the knee so the knees are stacked. Bend your top elbow. Bring that hand behind your head. But you want to keep your bottom arm really close to the side of your head. That's going to support your head a little more. Take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, rise. Last 3. Rise up and up. Last 1. And relax. Bring it down. Push yourself all the way up. Perfect. So then we're going to turn long ways again onto our mat, placing the ball between the knees, okay? Your feet are going to stay hip distance apart, all right? And we're going to go into some bridging, all right? So roll all the way down, squeezing that ball between the knees. Now I want you to roll your toes up away from the ball so your heels are digging into your mat. All right, keep a squeeze on the ball, breathe in to prepare. Exhale, lift the hips, coming up into neutral, and then lowering back down. When you lower down, try not to touch at the bottom. Keep a little space so we keep some engagement on the back side. Here we go, exhale, lift and lower. Last 4. Last 2. And 1. Bring it all the way down. Relax the toes and then release the ball. Now another thing you can do, which I kind of like to do, is grab a book, all right, which is obviously a little smaller than the ball, or a little wider, or a little more narrow. Yeah. You're going to place the book between your knees, okay? So the book is really acting as a tactile cue to keep that engagement on the medial part of your thighs. So your feet are close together, your knees are close together, you're squeezing that book with the inner thighs or with the inside of the legs. So your feet are going to be flat this time. Now you're going to lift the hips and hold, and then I want to change the rhythm. We're going to drop, and then with a staccato breath, come up, squeeze and squeeze. Let's try that together. Breathe in, lift up. Here we go. Drop in, exhale. And 5, 4, squeeze, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way back down. Now grab the book, roll yourself up. You're going to roll over onto your stomach now. Keep your book. This time, you're going to bend your knees. Now your feet are going to come together, but for a little extra tactile cue, you're going to place the book between your feet, okay? So you got to kind of work your way in there. There you go. And so you're going to hold on to that book, all right? You'll squeeze the book with your feet and then lift the knees to fire through the glutes. Here we go. Inhale to prepare, exhale, squeeze, lift, and lower. Squeeze, lift. So you want to keep the upper body somewhat relaxed because we're focusing on extension through the hips. Squeeze again. Exhale. And exhale. 4 more. Last 2. and 1. Now we're not done yet. Keep those knees bent. We're going to add that staccato breath to add a little supercharge. So you're going to take it up and hold it. Now give me tiny pulses. Go 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Go ahead and release it all the way down. You can drop your book. Hold right there. Now stretch the arms overhead. This time the legs stay down and the upper body rises. Take a breath into prepare. Exhale. Lift up and lower. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now come all the way up. Sit back into shell stretch for a little counter pose. All right, so now we're going to go back into some more extension using our big ball. So if you don't have a big ball, no big deal. You can use a cushion or something to give you a little lift, but really, and you can also do it without anything, just in prone. But the ball gives you a little more space to work with, which allows you to get into a little more of your range. So with the ball, you're actually going to come down over the top of your ball or your cushion, whatever you're using, just to give you a little more range. Your knees are going to stay down, and you just kind of fold over into flexion over your ball. You're going to bring your hands behind your head. Now, this is going to require a little balance, but I know you can do it. So take a breath into prepare. You're going to actually inhale to rise up. Then you're going to exhale, turn the shoulders and the trunk. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale to lower back down. Try that again, going the other way. Inhale, exhale, rotate the other way. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, lower down. Let's try that again. Inhale. Turn, exhale. Center and down. Come up. Turn. Center and down. 2 more times. Last one. And relax. Bring it all the way down. Place your hands on your ball. Stretch it out long and let your chest drop between your arms to create a little deeper stretch through the lats. 1 more breath. And then relax. Okay, our final sequence, I'm going to have you lose that ball, and we're going to grab either your book. Actually, you can grab your book, your weight, or your squishy ball. I'm going to use my book because it's right here. So we're going to do a little teaser hold with rotation, okay? So we sit up nice and tall. We've got our prop in hand. You're going to lean back with a straight spine and then pick your feet up, okay? So again, the prop is like a tactile cue that helps you engage and focus and draws your awareness into what you're doing. So you're going to take your arms out, book in hand, or weight, or squishy ball. Breathe into prepare, and you rotate. And center. And center. Do it again. Bring it in and relax, all right? So we're going to try that one more set. So I'm going to change mine out, and this time add my weight, okay? So you can keep the knees bent this time, or if you want to extend the legs, I'll take you through that sequence. So you've got your weight in hand, you lean back with the straight spine, you lift your knees up to tabletop or to full leg extension. So you're in teaser hold, exhale, twist. Last 4, twist, and twist. Last 2, and 1. Bring it back up and relax. Okay. All right, so as we bring our session to a close today, we're going to do one of my favorites. And if you've ever done reformer, one of the favorites is always feet in the straps, okay? But we don't have straps here, so we're going to simulate that using a little bit of a squishy ball. You can also use a block with this one, anything that's going to lift your pelvis up, give you a little more opening. So I'm going to use the ball. You're going to lift the hips, and the ball comes right underneath your sacrum. And so remember, your sacrum is that flat bony part of your spine all the way at the base of your spine, just above your coccyx or your tailbone. So you're resting the sacrum right on the ball. So you're gonna bring the knees to tabletop, okay? Legs are straight up. So just imagine feet in the straps if you're on the reformer. You're gonna inhale, hinge at your hips and allow gravity to pull the legs down, creating a nice gentle stretch. Then you're gonna separate the feet, opening out wide, bringing the feet back down, and then back together. So you go into your double leg circles with the support of the ball. And so the ball is challenging a little bit because it's not stable. So you're having to, use your deep core muscles to help stabilize you. But at the same time, it gives you that lift to open the hips up a little more. So you're able to circle in full range with not a lot of resistance. Give me one more lap. And now come all the way to the top and we'll finish reversing that direction. So drop in, breathe in, exhale. Again, exhale. Now a couple things about your leg circles. You can stay in parallel, and when you stay in parallel, that's gonna shorten your range just a little bit or decrease your range of motion in your hips. If you move into lateral rotation, meaning your toes are turned out, your heels are connected, that's actually gonna open your range up a little more because it opens the hips up a little bit more. So you can play around with both of those, and one's not really better than the other. It's just kind of a difference in how you position the leg within the socket of the hip. So last one, bend the knees, and then you'll bring it down, and then you're gonna lift the hips, come up off of the ball, and relax. Now I wanna use just a moment to stretch out the hips a little bit more by placing the right heel on top of the left knee and open that knee out wide. So we create a deeper rotation in that hip. Reach through, grab the knee, and move into a little figure 4 stretch. That's gonna get deep into your hip rotators, opening up through the hip flexor a little bit more as well. Give me one more breath right here. And then release down. Switch sides. Left foot on top of the right, reach through, pull it in for that figure 4 stretch, and hold. And then bring it all the way back down. Now grab one knee, roll yourself up. Coming to that seated position, you're gonna separate your feet out wide, long spine, arms reach out wide. We'll finish with our saw stretch. Rotate, reach for your front foot, come back up, and then reset. Rotate, reach, come back up, reset. One more each side. Last one. Now down the middle, reach both hands to both feet, drop the head down the middle, hold right here. And then come all the way back up, bring your feet together, give them a shake, and you guys are all done. Thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful day.